This is the plaintiff, Hunter. He says he hired the defendant to create an elaborate costume for him so he could enter a runway contest and win the grand prize. He also hired him for some lessons on how to strut down the runway properly. Well, the guy never delivered on either. He refuses to give him his money back, and he's here in the name of the law suing him. For the $700, he's now out. This is the defendant, Taurus. He says he's a designer and he trains models. He has no idea why this strange guy is suing him because he made 2 jackets for him. He gave him multiple training sessions, and he's not giving him back 1 cent. He's accused of not being a model businessman.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Hunter, you are suing Mr. Taurus, doing business as Vinchay. How do I pronounce it?
Vinchay.
Vinchay Designs. For $700 that you say you are out because, according to you, he did not comply with the contract. Tell me what happened.
So basically, I had hired him to prepare me for an event that we were having.
What kind of event?
We call it ball, like a ballroom. It's ballroom stuff. So it's like a function where we get together and we do different categories depending on what it calls for. So at this particular ball, it was calling for a bird effect, like come in as a bird.
Okay.
So
is it like a fashion show or?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
You could say that.
All right.
So I hired him to prepare me for it as well as design and make my costume. Literally, day of, no
How much in advance of the event did you hire him?
About a couple weeks.
And was it 1 costume or more than 1?
It was supposed to be 1 costume.
All right, and so he was going to prepare what part of that costume? Just the jacket?
I sent him a picture, so it was more so the concept of the look. So whether he did it just the jacket or the whole piece, that was supposed to be something discussed between us. But he just did the jacket. Like, I had no forte or say in
Well,
anything.
but I mean, but in all those texts that I've read back and forth, at some point, was there ever any discussion about, hey, I want you to do pants and a jacket, or I just want the jacket? All right. So it seems like everybody was assuming it was just a jacket, if that's...
Yeah, I guess.
All right. So, and how much were you going to pay him for that?
He originally had quoted me 2 something, and then over time, the price went up.
To what?
When I spoke to him over the phone, going over everything, he said 2 something, so I said, okay, so 300 should be able to cover everything plus more, and then, you know, you're supposed to provide receipts, so anything more, like, you'll give back. That was agreed upon, and then he had called me in the middle of the night, saying that he needed money for some of the material, sent him that, so that was for the effect.
So in total, how much did you pay for the, when we say the effect, we're talking about the costume, right?
Yes.
Okay, how much?
About 500 so far, I think we're at.
Okay.
And then 150 because in the ballroom stuff, he's good at runway. So I asked him if he can teach me lessons, you know, to better, because that's what I was walking for.
Runway lessons. Mm-hmm. Okay.
1 or 2 lessons. After that.
How many lessons did you actually have? You had 3.
I think it was. Yeah, I can see how much it is. It was like probably, yeah, it was definitely not 1. It was like the 2 or 3, but yeah.
Okay, it was 3.
And then he just went ghost.
And then that was it. He ghosts? Okay. And you had assumed that it was, or you guys had settled that it would be $30 a class?
So prior to this event, when I had took lessons with him before, it was $30 per class.
Okay.
So giving him this, I expect it to be either that or not less, where we do that amount and
okay.
like 3 classes
so,
and go ghost.
And then at some point you say here, money's for a loan. What happened there?
He hit me up saying that someone that was supposed to give him money didn't come through. So he asked if I can send him the money and like he'll pay me back. I was very firm on, you know, you're gonna pay me back. Is it gonna be this date? That it, like whatever.
That's kind of weird.
Was.
Were you guys friends or something?
Somewhat, yeah. We were friends.
So you knew each other from before this?
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, I gave him that. on the day that we agreed he was gonna pay me back, that never happened.
All right, so
And
now we're at the day of the event, and you still don't have the outfit. What happens?
The day of, that's when him and I are finally communicating. He's telling me, why haven't I, been hitting him up before? I chased after you already. After a couple of days of me chasing you and getting nowhere, I'm not gonna continue beating a dead horse. So the day of, we're going back and forth. I'm explaining to him.
Well, okay, let's assume he had called you a week before and said it's ready. Who was supposed to pick it up or drop it off or whatever?
We meet up and.
Meet up where?
Well, we'll discuss that, whether it be at a practice or in the city, or if I go to him, he goes to me.
All right, so the day of the event, what happens?
Couple of hours before the ball starts,
Wait, first of all, how do you know that it's done? What's the first thing that happens?
That's when he called me and told me.
He called you or he texted you?
Couple of hours, I believe he called me.
There was no text on that day?
There was texts on that day as well.
The text was like real early in the morning? What day was the event?
July 1st.
Is this a picture you sent?
We were going back and forth with ideas of different birds. And that was one of the ideas that he had for a bird. So the morning of, he actually texted me saying, hey, and then he asked me if I had black pants to go with the effect.
Let's hold on one second. Let me get to the morning of. The ball is 5 days, this is you. The ball is 5 days away, and we're doing a dress rehearsal before to make sure we look good and everything's set. Whenever we are asked where are our effects and stuff, I'm the only one who doesn't respond. Let me know what's gonna happen. If I'm not gonna have it in time, then let me know. Remember, I gave you extra to get better quality and make the effect look over-sickening. What's that mean? I don't know, I'm sorry, I'm not that hip.
It's like slang.
Well, you're not that hip either, so I don't know why I looked at you. Go ahead. Yeah.
It's like say over,
Like
so you said
over
it
the
right.
top? Over? Yeah, okay. And whatever is left would go back to me, but I'd rather you be honest and let me know what's going on. I want to see your best work, and it'll break my heart if our deal is broken or less than what's expected. I'm an understanding dude when it comes to business. I'm on point, honest, and fair. I would never want to make someone feel taken advantage of. Hope to see you soon. And then he does, I hate this, he does a video that you took a screenshot of, so I can't really play it. I hate when my kids send me that. If they're the ones who started me on texting because we're all busy, and then they make me listen to an entire. I don't have that kind of time. I'm you now. You've made me into you. All right. So what was said on this message?
Basically,
more or less
to trust him and that he got this and not to worry.
Okay. So then that's where you put hashtag trust the process. LOL. I'm very understanding. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Now it's June 27th. What gets sent to him?
June 27th, that was basically a video that I sent him of me practicing with somebody else.
Okay. And then June 28th, he sends you something, but this is cut off. I don't know what that is.
It's like a flyer for another ball.
And then on July 1st, he says, hey, at 2:01 p.m., what time is the event?
I think it starts around 6 or 7.
You say, hey, and then he says, do you have black pants? Do you have your phone with these texts on them?
Yes, I
have
have
want to
them
see
right
the times of them, and I can't do that. Hold on one second, stay where you are, I'm sorry. My bailiff was busy.
Yeah, I had to get a drink real quick.
Hydration's important.
It is very.
Okay. At 2:09, he says to you, you have black pants? You say, the closest I have are these. That's at 2:14. Send me a picture of the costume.
So literally.
And then on July 1st at 3:59, later that day, you say to him, give the costume to Roman. Make sure he takes care of it. Send me a pic. Send me a pic of the costume. I'm trying to get whatever I need done on my end. I need the pic ASAP. This is the part that's driving me crazy and gonna make me back out. I don't mean this in a mean way, but it's gonna sound that way because text. But don't tell me what I need. I'm stressed and unprepared listening to you. Right now, I need to get everything on my end. My clothes need to be ironed and steamed. I need to know what I'm doing. Right now, you have me on pause. Black doesn't go with the bird at all. Let me decide everything else. If you want me to at least try, send me a pic ASAP. Pull over real quick. The longer it takes to get the pic, the worse it is. I'm over an hour away from the ball, and then you send him a couple of messages.
So we had a phone conversation where
he says, the bird's legs are black, and then you send him pictures of the bird that's not legs black, and are we talking about the same bird? What is this a picture of right here? Yeah, I'm actually talking
the jacket. I sent him the picture. I had to pull over to send him a picture of it, of the jacket, because I was driving when we were texting. So the top picture is a picture of the bird, and this is the picture of the jacket. It's a tuxedo jacket.
Okay.
I'm just holding it, but I took
You're
a picture
holding
of
it in a funny way.
Yeah.
All right. And then what is this a picture of?
The back of I believe it's the back of it. Yep, that's the back.
Oh, so it's still the same jacket. There's only one jacket.
Yep.
All right,
same
I got
jacket.
it. All right, so who's Roman?
So I never met Roman. I don't know Roman. Him and I had a phone conversation where we were discussing what was going on because I told him everything that's going on I wasn't cool with. He explained that he's going to give it to this person named Roman, and that person's going to give it to me. When I told him no, basically my options was give it to Roman to give to me, or he doesn't give me the effect, I still don't get the money, and we call it a day.
And this is at 4 o'clock on the day of the event.
So I
and
told
you
him-
live where?
In the Bronx. And the
And you
event's in
live
Brooklyn.
where?
Jersey City.
Okay, which is like saying, you know, California and Louisiana to regular non-New Yorkers. When was Roman how was Roman gonna give it to you?
I don't know him. I didn't speak to him. He
No,
said
no.
Roman-
What
oh,
was when you text give the costume to Roman? So what was the plan at that point at 3:59?
So he said Roman was supposed to go to the ball.
Okay, and Roman was going to be there at what time?
When it started, well, obviously when it started, when we're supposed to. Because
Was there ever any talk about that?
I never spoke to Roman. I never communicated with him. I don't know who he is. My options was I can give it to my friend Roman, and he'll bring it to you, or I don't give it to you.
Come and drive to Jersey City at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on the day of the event.
No, meaning he doesn't give it to me, and I don't get my money back.
Right. Well, no, the other option was go pick it up or send somebody to pick it up, which is kind of hard to do at 4 o'clock. All right. The picture of the costume is finally sent to him at.
And mind you, he's never taken my
4:23.
measurements, and this is the first time we.
I don't understand, though. You guys had 3 runway lessons. Why didn't anybody take your measurements then?
I brought it up and didn't happen.
Wait, how did you get his measurements?
So when I did the first original practice, I saw his suits. The suit sizes was there. That's how I basically do it.
Why didn't you just take why didn't you just measure him?
The thing is, I brought my measurement tape for the first studio practice that we did, and it slipped literally.
What about the second one or the third? How many studio practices did you do?
Honestly, we did 3.
Right, and you didn't bring your tape measure to any of them? This seems kind of
No, I know.
half-baked.
I get it.
Okay, Friday, July 1st, 7:30. Are you Roman?
No.
Oh, that's a shame, because I got some questions for Roman. All right, I'm here. What's Roman's info? This is at 7:37. What time was your event?
It started it basically opens around 6 and starts at 8 probably.
What is Roman's info? He texts you Roman's info. Roman isn't bringing it. And you say, hold on. My category is about to start. This is at 8:02. Then he gives you a different phone number. Did you try both those phone numbers for Roman? Did you reach Roman in the first phone number?
So they weren't picking up. So I had to go to someone else and say, hey, can you call this person? That person called, and then they picked up.
And then they said what?
They're not gonna make it for me to go to wherever they are, take an Uber to them, or figure it out. And I'm like, yo, I'm about to go up.
Whose number is that? Just call him and say you're Hunter. He has your effect. I did. He said he's not leaving anytime soon for me to send somebody for it or to send an Uber. Then at 11:38, he texts you, hope you're having a good day. I just finished up with mine. I wanted to touch base with you on getting my money back. The $50 I let you borrow and the $500 for the effect. And after 3 practices, you went ghost. That's messed up. I kept reminding you to take my measurements. You kept saying, trust you. I trusted you, and I got screwed at the end. I've shown nothing but kindness to you. I'm not going back and forth. What happened with Roman?
So with Roman, we got to go back a little bit.
Yeah, let's go back to why it wasn't ready until 2:01 on the day of the ball.
I had multiple people. I made his, and then the reason I brought Roman is because I was going to Brooklyn. That's where I worked, to drop off the effect that I already had made for somebody else. The person, Roman is a makeup artist, so he was doing their makeup. I was giving it to that person so that they were going to the same ball as him. So
to Roman or to the other person?
Roman was there with him doing his
Who did you
makeup.
give it to, though, Roman or the...
I gave it to the person that I made the effect for. and he was there
You
with
said,
at Roman
here's an
house.
effect for another guy I want you to deliver?
Yeah, I had talked to him about it because me and him had spoken about it earlier on the phone.
Right, but the person who you say that you're giving it to is Roman.
Yeah, so that is Roman is the makeup artist. So
Is
that
Roman
person,
going to the ball?
Yes.
Okay,
Roman, he
what
was supposed
time
to
did
be-
Roman get to the ball?
I have no idea. I was at work.
Well,
I have no.
Well, do you have any idea now? Because I presume you've spoken to Roman since you're not only in court, but at the People's Court.
Welcome back to the People's Court. I'm Harvey Levin. The plaintiff says that he wasted his money by hiring the defendant to make a costume for him for a contest he was entering. But the defendant says that the costume made it to him in time just fine, so pound sand. Let's go back into the courtroom.
What does Roman say happened?
I didn't speak to him.
Oh, you never asked Roman whether
No.
where's the effect? Did you give him the effect?
No, I gave it to him. I drove there.
No,
to,
that wasn't my question. Did
What?
you ever ask Roman, hey, Roman, this guy says, because you say you never
Oh,
got
yeah,
the
yeah,
effect.
yeah,
So
yeah,
did
I
you
spoke
ever
to
say,
him.
Roman, did you give him the effect?
No, I didn't. I was at work. I worked
Oh,
from.
what about since that day? So since that day, have you said, hey, Roman, the guy says he didn't get his effect?
Actually, that when he called me about the effect, saying that he wasn't going to get there or get there at that time, that's when I was like, freak. So I was like, hold on. I had to call him like, hey, what time? He's like, I'm getting there. It's just going to be late. And I was like, okay, well, you just screwed me because now.
You did.
Now
So
you have
did Roman ever give him the effect, yes or no?
Now that I didn't. Apparently, yes. Just after, you know.
Really? What makes you say that? I keep asking you if Roman tells you that he gave him the effect.
Because I spoke with Roman and the person I gave it.
Afterwards?
Afterwards.
I don't know how I can make my questions any clearer.
No, you're making it
And what
clear.
did Roman say? I gave him the effect at what time?
After the category. After his category was like
Okay,
at
watch
9
this.
something.
Did Roman give you the effect? You don't have the effect. Do you have any proof that Roman gave him the effect?
No.
You have an affidavit from Roman. Is Roman here to testify?
Roman is not. So again,
Okay.
it's
So here's what we have. We have no proof that the effect was ever given to the client. We have a plan for the effect to get there in time for the category. And you know for a fact it didn't. It's sent with your friend Roman, who you have no evidence while you're in front of me here that Roman actually gave it to him, other than hearsay. You don't have anything from Roman. You don't have Roman here to testify. And he's out now. $50 for a loan. Why were you hitting up your client for a loan?
So the day that I did the okay, it was a lot. The day that I ain't gonna bring that up. So I'll just go back here. Boom. I needed the $50 for something personal, but my friend that was supposed to pay me back, that I lent money for, never paid me back.
I know, but you're a business person. Maybe you know.
Oh no,
maybe-
but this, I asked as a friend because we were friends at
Okay,
that
did you
time.
pay him back as a friend or
I
no?
did not pay him back.
Okay, so you did not pay him back.
No, I did not.
Okay, all right. So and there's 2 classes he didn't get, and you did ghost between the 20-something and the first, and then you surface on the first. You make arrangements for someone to deliver it, and that person arrives after the category, and why wouldn't he get any money back?
Can I say, because Ghost, I communicated with him via phone of why I couldn't make those practices. So it wasn't like I wasn't not going to do it. I did say that I could do it, just we had to reschedule it because of my work schedule. That's the only thing that happened with that. But we communicated that with
Yeah, he
each
doesn't
other
want
on
the other
phone.
2 classes. He's now suing you, so I don't
Yes,
think that
that's fine.
he wants the other 2 classes. So that's $60 that's going to go back to him. But what I'd like to understand is why should he be out 5? We know he's not out the 50 because now you admit that you never paid him that back. So why should he be out the 500 if, according to your own admission, Roman didn't get there until afterwards, and you have? First, you told me, I don't know if Roman gave him the costume. You told me that like 5 times. And then you said, yeah, I talked to him later, and he says he gave him the costume. But we don't have any evidence from Roman that the costume was given, and we have him saying that it's the contrary. So why wouldn't he be entitled to his money back if he paid you for something that you didn't provide? And you're so late to the game, too. I know that this is very common because I have this kind of litigation in front of me all the time. I'm an artiste. Trust the process. The process stinks, okay? Because nobody wants to get it at 4 o'clock from Jersey City at the last minute. You know, so when he's trying to get ready and get mentally psyched. So, you know, the whole thing stunk, but in particular, not being able to walk the category. Why would he Why would you not refund his money?
Because I spent the money on the look. I also gave
so
him
that was
another.
kind of a mistake to trust it to Roman.
Yeah, absolutely, you're right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And you might want to ask Roman where it is, because I'm not sure anybody knows where it is. I don't know whether, have you talked to Roman?
Not recently, no. Since all of that, like after this incident, that was it. But I haven't spoken to him as of today. Like right now.
I'm going to order him to pay you back for the 2 classes you didn't take, the $50 that you loaned him, plus the $500 for the garment that the uncontradicted testimony in this courtroom is you didn't get it, because I don't have Roman here to testify. So I am ruling in your favor in the amount of $610. Verdict for the plaintiff. Good luck, gentlemen.
So the plaintiff prevails. He gets essentially everything he was seeking here in the People's Court, $610. The judge orders the defendant to pay him. Let's see what the defendant has to say. Taras, what's your reaction to the judge's verdict?
I agree with it. I mean, at the end of it, because it made perfect sense. So I have no hard feelings over it.
I mean, don't you feel bad about what happened in the end?
Yes,
that,
like because professionally
your client never
wise,
got the chance to show himself off?
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely. It's just like it sucks for business-wise perspective for me. Yes.
Was he a good student?
Yes, amazing student.
It's a shame he didn't get a chance to do it then, isn't it?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's see what the plaintiff has to say now. Hunter's on his way out of the courtroom. Hunter, let me ask you a little bit. You said you wanted this to look sickening. What did you mean by that term when you said sickening?
Meaning over the top, meaning the best of the best and good quality.
And I mean, you really wanted to win the contest, didn't you?
Yes, yes.
What about the outfit? Did you ever see it? Did you ever get it?
Never saw it, never got it, never touched it, never met Roman.
Where do you suppose it is?
The world may never know. Ask Roman.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, congratulations. All right, that'll bring this case to a close. Harvey, what do you think?
Well, Doug, look, this is a case where a witness was critical. Now, we've talked about this in small claims, and if you watch People's Court, you've seen this, that sometimes the judge will allow notarized statements from witnesses who can't attend, and it just depends on how vital they are to a case. The problem with a notarized statement, you can't cross-examine it, and sometimes you need to cross-examine to test the credibility of the witness. So sometimes the notarized statement works, sometimes it doesn't, but you need something.
Marilyn, has John ever embarrassed you in public?
Oh, only every day.
Only just about every day, right? Come on, what have I ever done to embarrass you in public?
Let's just say our social skills are different.
That's fair to point out.
And so
I don't disagree with
sometimes
that.
it's
they're so different
maddeningly-
they're so different that I don't go out in public.
No, you'll go out in public and then you won't say a word all night or something.
sometimes.
And it's like, people are like, what's John mad at? I'm like, no, he's just John.
So I find somebody who wants to talk about pinball.
Right, or
baseball,
or you truly do often behave like a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've embarrassed you in public constantly.
Every single time you ask for directions, you embarrass me.
Oh,
because I know how to get there.
Yeah, you
and
get
I'm going to get
really
there.
upset about that.
Yeah, because you don't do that. Only chumps ask for directions.
Yes, of course.
You just freaking find your way there. I mean, I know that the moss grows on the north side of the tree from being a Boy Scout and everything. So,
yes, that's how I want to get where I'm going. Not through GPS or someone telling us. I just want you to watch the moss and the sun.
That's right. I like to go by dead reckoning, right?